Hi, I'm Vanessa. Welcome back to the Solena Global Living Podcast, where we talk about real life abroad, real estate, and how to choose your place when you move to a new country. Today, we're heading to one of the most searched areas in Spain, the Costa Blanca North. And specifically, we're going to talk about Denia. Denia is the main city on the Costa Blanca North, and it's equidistance between Valencia and Alicante. And I think this is such a great town to consider for both families and retirees, people who want to live the coastal Mediterranean lifestyle and live in a decent sized city, but have access to even larger cities and international airports on both sides of them. So, our guest today to help us understand more about this beautiful small city is Marta. Now, Marta is a real estate expert, Spanish native, and she made Denia her home over 30 years ago. She's also one of our guides on the expatsy tours through Spain. So she'll be the person we meet with when we're in Denia in April of this year. So if you'd like to learn more about our upcoming scouting trips, make sure to click the link in the description to learn more. And if you are looking to buy real estate in this area or you want to explore what that looks like, you can contact Marta directly by filling out the form in the description. Now, one of the challenges I think many people experience when they're researching online about where to live is that everything looks picture perfect. The photos are flawless, all the blog posts are glowing, and it's hard to get clarity about what life is really like. So today we're going to try to cut through some of the noise and talk about what Denia is like in the summer versus the winter. We'll talk about real estate prices. We'll talk about the festivals that they have throughout the year. So what is the community like? Healthcare, safety, transportation. We cover a lot in this interview. So if you're interested in building a life on the Costa Blanca North and you're not sure exactly where to land, I think this interview will give you a lot of clarity. Without further ado, let's dig in and meet Marta. Hi, Marta. Thanks for joining me to talk about Denia. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
Now, how long have you been living in Denia? It's been quite a while, right?
Right. I've been living in Denia. It's going to turn 37 years this June. So yes, it has been a long and nice time for me. It's half of my life living here. Well, a little bit longer than that. And yeah, I mean, I work here. I have my family around, and I think I live in a perfect place.
Now, how do you describe Denia to someone who's never heard of the city before?
Well, I'm going to try to describe it because I think also Denia is a place to feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Try to describe it's a city, right? Some people will describe it as a village, but it's actually a city. It's a main city actually. We by the sea, and it's like the place itself is divided like in three different places, right? Let's say the sandy beach, the rocky beach, and we have a mountain called the Mongol right behind, facing the sea, right? Okay, so we are divided in three areas where all the people is actually living and have their own houses. Okay, we have a big port, really large. There is one for fishing, it's a fishing port, and there is another three for yachts, boats, leisure, and water sport, right? And everything is right along the town, so it's quite accessible, and there is a lot of things going on there, right? And a lot of people going along, and then we have we're really good at gastronomy. Okay, so we have what everybody will know as paella. Okay, which is one of the typical food in the area, not only in this city, but along the area. We're based in the province of Alicante, which is Costa Blanca. We are right in the middle between two big cities, which is Alicante and Valencia. Alicante by the south and Valencia on the north, right? And we are right in the middle. And if we are looking at the sea, we are 2 hours away from the Balearic Islands, and which makes us really special because we really well communicated with the rest of the world, and because we have the two international airports, one based in Valencia and another one based in Alicante, and also there is 2-3 companies actually running the ferries to Formentera, Mallorca, and Ibiza, which everybody knows,
Mhm.
right? So that makes Denia quite special because the location is unique, right? Also, I will highlight the size of the city. It's not a big city, but it's not a small city. It's 50,000 people living permanently. It's a community with a nice mix of local people and foreigners. 30% I would say would be British and Germans, and the rest would be from other countries of Europe. And now it's people coming from America, from Canada, so lots of people coming from Canada too, and from other places, right? So we are a nice combination of local people and foreign people, and we get on very well together. It's a very cosmopolitan area. It's nice. So it's nice for anyone. People sometimes ask me, who would like to come and live here? But anybody, because it's good for families. It's good for people who has retired. Families, why is good for families? Because there is a lot of activities. There is good schools, international schools, national schools too. And it's a lovely green area where to do a lot of hiking or water activities or any other sports. Really, we cover everything. Even we do now, I think it's very popular in America, pickleball
Yeah,
tennis.
that and paddle, right? Yeah, very,
Yeah,
very popular.
it's very popular there. So we are starting here that sport as well. So we really try to cover everything for everyone. So everybody will find their own activity, their own place. We're talking about 300, around 300 restaurants. So it's an issue in this place. Really is it's important for us, the gastronomy. Everything moves around gastronomy. Apart from the typical paella that everybody knows about, there is a lot more to it. And also we have special prawns that we actually fish here in our Mediterranean fish sea, and they're delicious. And a lot of people actually come to this area just to eat those and to taste them.
Yeah, one of my fond memories of the tour that you led when I was there in the fall was we walked through that little area with all the little stalls, all the little restaurants, and we were
Yeah,
there early in the day, so we didn't get to see it all buzzy and filled with people. But what was that area called? I'll put up some pictures of it because that was just such a cool vibe,
right.
right?
That small place, well, it's quite a long place actually, but the
Yeah.
area where we stopped, that's a fisherman little town within the big town. Okay. And it's where you have all the restaurants right at the front of the port. Well, it's only a few out of the 300 that we actually have in Denia.
Mhm,
And we are talking about Denia and 5 kilometers around. Okay.
mhm,
Because when we were talking about there is three parts in Denia, we saying we have the center with the castle, and then we have 15 kilometers on the left side of sandy beach on warm water because the Mediterranean is quite warm. So it's really nice for everyone. And we have on the right hand side, we have a rock beach, right, which is another 4 kilometers with a lovely walk. It's quite nice and quiet. A lot of people from Denia, local people like that area, Las Rotas. Okay.
mhm,
It's quiet. Then we have what we call Las Marinas, which is on the other side. There's some beaches there where it is more popular for tourism. Okay,
mhm.
tourists like to be by the sandy beach. So that's how we divide the city. There is services everywhere. Okay, you will find supermarkets, restaurants, bars everywhere as well. And then you have on the top of the mountain there is a lot of houses. Most are individual detached houses, which are bigger houses, probably more expensive as well. Yes, makes a difference. Some people actually in Denia have their apartment, their house in the city, and the second home either by the beach or in the mountain.
Okay. Wow. They don't travel far to get to their second house, do they? They really like Denia.
Yeah,
That's pretty close.
no, I didn't understand when I first came to live here. I didn't understand why because I thought, well, there is no long distance everywhere. But then I understood, when the children have the school break, which is a long school break in Spain because it's almost 3 months. What they do is the family moved with the children to the beach, to the little house in the mountain, away from the city, which it gets crowded, obviously, in summer.
Right.
In summer, we probably multiply by 7 the
Yeah, so let's
population.
talk about that because that's always a fear of people, right? So they say, well, I want to live near the beach, but I don't want to be surrounded by all these people in the summer. I mean, it really anywhere in Spain, if it's warm and sunny near the water in the summer, it's busy. So that's just how it goes. But what is it like? What's this like the experience as a local dealing with all the tourists in the summer? What kind of tourist does it attract?
Well, I mean, it's not bad, and it's not bad because we spread, right?
Hmm.
We're like in 3 different positions, right? The people have space everywhere to move around, so it doesn't get crowded everywhere. There is
Hmm.
well, it is nice. Obviously, there is more traffic, but
Hmm.
that's normal. I mean, you have to go, but more traffic. I mean, if you have to wait 3 minutes for us, it's too much. Okay.
Yeah, so traffic is definitely a relative term. I spent my 20s in Los Angeles, and really anything other than LA traffic feels like nothing, right? And then somebody who's used to having nobody on the road sees 2 cars and they're like, "Oh, the traffic."
Yeah,
So, yes, it's hard to read a blog and hear what somebody says, "Oh, the traffic is really bad in the summer," but you have to know what they're comparing that to, right?
I have
So,
to say, after 37 years living here, it's not that bad at all, really.
okay. Can you get into restaurants? Like, can you get reservations to get
Well,
into places to eat?
funny enough, a lot of people, what we do, or what I do, and most of the people we do, is we don't go to our normal restaurants in summer. We go back to our favorite restaurants in winter, okay? Because we have the choice.
Yeah.
So let the people enjoy, and spending short time here.
That's great.
I mean, in any case, Denia, summer is full of life and light and bright and sunshine. It's always nice. Okay. Obviously, you see different people from many places. A lot of Spanish people like to move to this area for the summer vacations. And I think foreigners like to come in winter.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Why? Obviously, because our average temperature is between 18 and 20 degrees. Okay. So
Makes for
it's,
a nice
it's, really-
winter,
it's,
especially if you're coming from Norway or Canada or other
it's
places.
a usual winter, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of, I would say, the foreigners, they have houses here. They actually like to spend most of the time in winter, and they go back to the countries for summer, which is, I think, is quite clever.
Yeah, I mean, one of the benefits I think to owning in one of these beach towns is you can rent out your home for a few months in the summer and basically make your mortgage payment for the
That's
year.
right. That's right. That's what a lot of people do, actually.
Yeah.
And
We're
even
actually
if you,
doing that this year. We're going to Italy and we're renting out our place and it's amazing what we can get for it.
yes,
So
definitely.
so if the crowds in the summer or the heat in the summer isn't your thing, there's so many other fabulous places to go. Rent out your house, get out of there, let somebody else enjoy
Absolutely.
it.
I mean, the heat is the heat. Maybe you get a few days, 4 or 5, 6 days,
Uh,
and 38 degrees. But most of the time, you're in 33, 32, 33, which is not bad. I mean, it's hard if you're working, okay?
yes.
But
Yeah.
if you are on holidays, it's beautiful, because you're either by the beach, or you are in the swimming pool, or you're in your apartment resting with the aircon. So really, it's not a big issue. It's more an issue for the people, for the local people, because we work here and then we have to move around, and it's not what we choose, it's what we have to do. Therefore, you have to live with it. Okay.
Yeah.
But saying that, it's still beautiful. You finish work and you're on holidays. We realize we are on holidays. I mean, if I finish work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, for example, I have all afternoon and evening to enjoy the same things that everybody else doing the
Yeah.
whole summer. So for me, really, sometimes I do complain about the heat, but I have to complain about something.
That is true. And the summer nights in Spain are magical. They
Yeah.
are long and warm and vibrant and late and fun and all the things. I
And
mean,
lifestyle, everybody's out.
yeah. Everybody is out. Everyone
Everybody.
is out. I love it. It has such a good energy and you feel safe. I mean, so as an American, one of the things Americans comment on a lot when they come to Spain and it's nighttime and people are drinking and it's a crowd, they look around and they say, I feel so safe.
Yes.
I am not afraid of being shot. I'm not afraid of people acting inappropriately or getting into a fight. I mean, it's just such a different energy
Yeah, for
in
me, it's
these
difficult to
towns.
understand what you're saying because I never have that feeling
Yeah, you're
here.
lucky.
Never. So it's difficult, to understand what you say. For me, it's so natural to feel safe.
Yeah,
It's our lifestyle. Things happen. Yeah, maybe, yeah, somewhere else.
yeah,
You really feel safe all the time. And that's how a lot of people ask that question, how safe is the area? Well, I have to say after 37 years that for me it's really, really safe. My children grown up here, my grandchildren too, my friends. And we all feel, we don't think about it. It's
yeah.
something that you don't think about.
Well, yeah, and talking about things that Spanish people don't have to think about, let's talk about healthcare because that's the other thing that Americans talk about all the time because it is such a big deal. And here it's a non-issue. So for international people coming in, they have to have private insurance, so they'll interact with the private health system. What is that system like in Denia, and how have you experienced it?
Well, I use the private system and I use the national system as well. I use both,
Uh,
okay? Well, it's a choice. The private system in Spain is cheaper than the national insurance actually. And it works really well on time, on services. I have to say that many of the main doctors that actually work for the national system also work for the private system.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get the best, really, wherever you go. I'm really happy. I'm really pleased that I have my insurance because for simple things like I don't know, something you feeling unwell and you go in emergencies. Well, I went in emergencies the other day and I was the first one. Nobody else was there. So I went in, I had anything that have to be done and I went out. Maybe in summer, obviously, you have 4 or 5 people in front of you, right? But all the tests and everything goes really quick. You
Yeah.
have different type of insurance. The one I have, it covers everything. So I don't do any co-payments or I don't know how you call it
Yeah.
or anything like that. It just covers everything. And I think it works really well, as well as the national one. The national system, it works well. Maybe you have more time, extra time to get a specialist or to get a test or something like that. But in any case, I'm quite happy that we have both systems in this country, all over the
Yeah.
country. Okay.
Yeah, it's always amazing every time I have to interact with the health system coming from America and I'm here and whatever needs to be done. It's just it feels so much less stressful and the way things are organized and how the building is stacked even, right? You go in, you go here, then you go over here, then you go upstairs, you go downstairs. Like you never have to leave the building and it's all done. And even the little clinic. So I'm sure it's the same down there, but up here every tiny little tiny town has like a little clinic, like a public
Yes.
clinic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
So
right.
my son has a rash, you have an ear infection, like whatever. It's like the walk-in clinic, basically. I think you can make appointments, but you can just show up. Waiting times are really easy. I mean, it's not fancy, it's no frills, but it's so convenient
It
and
is.
it's just accessible. Like healthcare is accessible and,
It
you
is.
know,
I mean, they're not going to throw you out.
no. And then when you pay for your meds, it's going to be with pocket change.
Yeah.
It's amazing how inexpensive medication is here
Yeah.
compared to the United States.
Yeah.
We had a guest on one of our tours lose a whole bag of medication. I mean, heart, blood pressure, anxiety, I mean, a whole litany of meds. And he had to refill all of the prescriptions. He was able to get almost everything in the States that would have cost him $2,500. The entire thing, the whole pack was 85 euros
Yeah.
to replace all this medication.
Yeah.
So
Good.
when people who are retiring or, if you have major health issues, you'll have a hard time coming in and getting private health insurance. I mean, if you have active cancer, this isn't going to work for you. But if you have managed diabetes or you have high blood pressure, whatever, you'll get into the system and you'll be shocked at how much easier it is to
Yeah.
manage your care here
Yeah,
versus in the
absolutely.
States.
And saying that, that was a good question actually, because I have to say that in Denia is the main national hospital for the area,
For
based in
what?
for the area.
Oh, yes. Yes, for the
Yeah.
area.
But
Yeah.
main hospital is based in Denia,
Okay. So you have
right?
all the specialists,
And also we
cancer,
have
all that.
three clinics, three private clinics as well in Denia. One of them is only 2 years old, and it's got it's got rooms, got all the everything. And that's very important, because I always say that to people: services are important. Whatever you are, you need to have the services nearby. Not only if you are old, also if you're young. It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
age. You need to have all the services close by, and good services. And we're talking about Denia. We have it because we are the main city in the whole area. So other people from other towns like Javia, Pedreguer, Ondara, they all have to come to this main hospital, which is based right outside the city. And well, I had to use it a few times, and I was quite satisfied really with the service and everything. It wasn't really nothing too important for me, but not too important anyway. And
Yeah.
I was very pleased. But other friends have been there, and I've been watching out to see how things were working. And I was quite impressed, really, how
Mhm.
things work, either in the national or the private. So yeah, that's an important issue. Really, if you're coming to live here or if you're coming on holidays, it doesn't matter how long you're going to spend here. It's good to know that you have all those services for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let's take a big segue and talk about real estate. We're going to really
Are
terrible
we?
segue here, but a favorite topic. So you're a real estate agent and you work at a golf resort and you
Yes,
do new construction. Do you guys have any new projects coming online this year?
we do. We have a beautiful one right on the resort. It's going to be 131 units. High quality and large and beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to start building in 1st of September. We already know that. And the first 60 units, about 65 units, will be due once the building start, 2 years. We have to count 24 months, right?
Okay.
So we now getting all the information ready to come out probably beginning of February.
Perfect.
So we'll be able to send you whole information and everything about this new project. I'm very excited about it, because the that golf course was actually built and created by our company in 1997. No,
Okay.
1993. And it's a beautiful golf course. You've been in it.
Yeah. It's
And it's
lovely.
absolutely beautiful. There is 27 holes, which is the only golf course in the area with 27 holes. The majority, there's beautiful ones around. There is many, but they are all 18 holes. Apart from one in Javi, I think it's only 9, but the majority are 18. But this one is 27, and it's a really beautiful spot. You've been in it. We are like in a valley surrounded by mountains, which
Yeah.
is, people can't think about it, can't think about how green this area is.
It is very lush and green.
Yeah,
It surprised me. I mean, it feels very subtropical almost, very
yeah,
lush. And it stays like that year round, right? I mean, how are the winters? Are they still pretty green?
it's always green
Yeah.
the whole year.
Yeah.
It's amazing, because we're only talking about. I mean, I know we have to talk about real estate. We're only talking about Denia as a city, right? But there is a lot more around. Okay, where the golf course is placed, it's only 10 minutes driving from here. So it's on the other side of the mountain we see from Denia. And also we have 3 valleys, and we are surrounded by mountains inside, right? So there is a lot to do there. There is, little villages and good restaurants and a lot of places to walk and do hiking and, cycling. Cycling is one of the big things around here too. I mean, now there is all the big teams are here doing the training because I think they're going to start in February, the season. So if you go along the roads, you will see all these different teams with their own stuff on, and it's becoming a really big thing as well. So there is a lot more than only just Denia. I mean, and also cities like Javier, for example, is only 9 kilometers away from here, and it's beautiful too. And it's got great offer for everything, and it's a little bit smaller, but it's beautiful. When you probably think, well, what do you do in winter, right? The winter times, what do these people do in winter time, right? What we do is that's one of the things we do. We do visiting all the other cities around us because it's just nice. So we like to go to the restaurants, different places. Obviously, we can go up the mountains because it's not that hot. So we can do all those hiking. So we don't do it in summer. A lot of people do it in summer. We don't.
Yeah.
We wait until winter comes to do those activities, right?
Yeah. One of the things that strikes me about the Costa Blanca North is just how unique each of these little towns are. I mean, the differences between Habia and Denia and Maraira and Altea, I mean, they are all unique little jewels with their own personalities, and they attract different types of people. So to have access to all of that diversity so close to you, and then like you said, the big cities, you're only an hour and a half tops to Valencia, an hour to Valencia.
Valencia is
day trip.
Valencia is 100 kilometers, and Alicante, I think, is 93, right?
There you go.
Right, halfway. So you have an hour. Maybe if you go as far as the airport, because it's normally outside town, maybe it takes an hour, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay? Yeah. It's very well situated. And sometimes when you think about having mountains on one side of you and the ocean on the other, you could maybe feel hemmed in. And that's not the experience on the Costa Blanca North at all. So you do have a lot of diversity. Now, I'm really excited to be able to view the plans for the new development when we come and visit. So Marta is our guide to Denia on the Expat Sea scouting trip that we do we'll be there in late April, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I'll put the link to the scouting trip below. So if you are interested in this area, Marta is such a wonderful resource. But so we'll get to see the plans for these. But is the pricing set already? So a 2-bed, 2-bath, do you know what those will sell for under pre-construction?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Do you know what the pricing will be for these new condos?
Right. I think it will start from
$499 for 2-bed, 2-bath with a terrace.
Up to 1,200,000, something like that.
Yeah.
In the range. I haven't got the list yet.
Okay. No worries. I'm putting you on the spot. I won't hold you to it.
Probably they're going to kill me because I'm telling you all this information.
No worries. Yeah, no, this area is really hot. I mean, new construction goes really fast in this area is what I'm finding. And there's a very strong market right now. What are you seeing for resales right now? I mean, in Denia, what are some averages? Can you give me a range, like an entry-level condo, sort of a mid-size?
Right. Let's say for an apartment, two bedrooms, two or 3 2. We're talking about from 150,000 to 300,000. Okay, and then at high level we save between 300 and 500, 600 maximum if you are on the front line, right? And then those 4 apartments. Okay, sometimes you will find on the front line new ones over $1 million. Obviously, we're talking about a range. Then you have a special one that is going to be a little bit higher, and then you have houses. That's houses. Will go from about 400 to anything.
Sure, you can pay as much as you want, but you're not going to pay less than about 400,000 for a little house, right?
Yeah. We are moving in that range.
Perfect. Now, how easy would it be to live in Denia? Sorry?
No, it's okay. Sorry.
How easy would it be to live in Denia without a car?
If you live in town, you're fine. Okay? Because, right, that's one of the disadvantage sometimes for people, that in Denia you need a car, right? Unless Really, you're only moving in town. I mean, from town, you can go to the beach, you can go to any of the beaches, you can move in, quite a large area. You can go to the mountain. You can do a lot of things without a car, right? But then there are not that many buses to go to, like Javier or Moraida. It's quite basic. The
Yeah.
public transport is quite basic, and so but you can do it. But there is also taxis anyway. So if you need to move somewhere, you just get a taxi and go.
Right.
There is public transport for the beach and for the hospital. So the important areas to cover are covered by public transport.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel free, if you have a car and you can move to a lots of places, to nice places where you can move to. But in any case, people that have no car, they can do a lot of things because everything is handy. I mean, you find need the center everything. If you want to do any water sport, you can do because it's close by. If you want to do any Pilates or dancing or tennis, you can walk to it.
Mhm.
You can do all those things walking.
Yeah, and one of the things people really want is a house with a little yard, but they want to be able to walk to get their coffee or walk to the grocery store. And I find that that can be difficult because usually urban centers are all apartments. In Denia, are there areas that have neighborhoods but with shopping centers within a walking distance?
You will find, yes. I mean, if you go along any area, you will always find supermarkets and services, right? Maybe if you go too high on the mountain, but it's going to be longer to reach,
Yeah.
any service area, right? But it's still, you can reach it. And if you go along Las Marinas, which is the largest area because it's 14 kilometers beach, there is several services and supermarkets along the 40 kilometers. There is not only one,
Yeah.
there is several. And obviously, restaurants plenty everywhere you go.
Right.
Either you go to
Perfect.
Las Marinas or you go to Las Rotas or you go to the Mongo. So no problem in that respect. You will always find your way,
Hmm.
right?
Makes
So
sense for
yeah,
sure.
it's when my parents used to come and they used to drive, and yeah, and they have a full, nice, beautiful life. They could do anything they wanted to do, and even in the heat, they were quite happy and pleased to walk everywhere because it's so beautiful. All the
Hmm.
walk around here, that
Yeah.
is, it feels good when you have to go somewhere and you have to walk, 2 or 3 kilometers. It doesn't seem like hard work.
Hmm. Exactly. Well, and when you're retired, you can choose not to walk at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? You
Yeah, that's
can,
true.
you pick your battles.
Looking forward to do that.
Now, I know you focus on the sales side, but do you have any experience with rentals in the area? Do you have an idea of what a two-bedroom apartment would rent for?
Right. Yes, I do have an idea because obviously we're not in that part of the market where we all suffer as users, all the situations. So we do know a little bit about how things are working. At the moment, for apartments in Denia, the range will go between 800 and 1,300.
For a two-bedroom,
2 bedrooms,
right?
and some 3 bedrooms as well,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Okay. And if we're talking about detached houses or really large houses or high standard, we're talking about around between 2,000 and 5,000.
Okay. Pretty reasonable, pretty standard, I think, especially
For
for the
you,
area, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And what's the competition like? I mean, how fast do those apartments turn over? I hear from my colleagues in Valencia that, one apartment goes on the market and they have 50 applications, 100
Yes,
applications, and it's like
yeah,
fighting tooth and nail.
yeah. Well, that's how it's working now because, as you know, the political situation is taking us to this time where we're having all these issues. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult, and that's the case. Still, things the market they're still trying to reverse this situation, and they're trying. I don't know if they're trying hard, but definitely they're trying.
Mhm.
Only the government, but the opposition and everybody else is the main issue in Spain now. The rentals in everywhere, not only this area, but everywhere in Spain. We're talking about always the same thing. Is our first worry.
Yeah. You don't have to talk about health insurance, but you have to talk about housing and rentals because it is hard. So I
Yeah,
think for people who are coming in, you have to be prepared
yeah,
to have all your ducks in a row, make sure that you have a really good application because you are competing, and be ready to move fast. You can't just dilly-daddle and decide later that you're interested.
absolutely. I
And if
mean,
you're coming with pets, you really have to be prepared
yeah,
to compromise on some
yeah.
things because landlords don't have to take you and your pets.
But that's
You get
life.
to pick.
That
Yeah.
that
Yeah, exactly. And so I see a lot of my clients who are moving in to Spain with pets, they choose to buy faster because, the pets are really important and they need a place that they can have them. And that so they, might sacrifice and have a 6-month rental and they're looking to buy really soon. Whereas somebody without pets, they might take a year or two before they're
hmm
ready to buy.
hmm
But that's just, those are
Well,
the choices you get to make.
I have to say about rentals that you probably know about it as well because you spend a lot of time here. Then
Yeah.
you can actually rent a place for 6 months or
Yeah.
9 months, and that's easy.
Yeah, that's much easier
That's it. That's
because the
easy. I mean,
landlord can kick you out, but if you have a long-term
no,
rental and you don't pay your rent.
yeah, it depends on your personal situation. If what you
Yeah,
are looking for to buy property, but you want to rent first, it could be that could be done.
yeah,
You can actually, if there is not a lot of offer at that moment in time for annual rental, but you can spend like 6 months or 8 months while you're looking for your permanent place. That's not difficult. That's fairly easy
right,
and a fair price as well because you pay those months for a long-term rental. So it's not a high rental like in summer, for example. Being the
right,
same apartment, it's not the same price if you renting winter.
right, exactly. So a really good strategy is to come in the fall and rent for 8 or 9 months, because those places in the summer will double in price, triple in price sometimes,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. And so that gives you time to settle in and then find a more permanent place to
Yeah,
live.
yeah. This is another way to go around it.
Definitely. So I want to kind of wrap up by talking about what does a normal week look like for people who live there full time? Are there rhythms to life there? I don't know, farmers markets or festivals or things that happen in Denia that kind of characterize daily life in the city.
Right. Things happen all the time. I mean, the festivals in Denia, for example, we start like with the three white men on the 6th
The
of
three
January.
women.
Well, that's our first festival and our first parade,
Yep.
right? Then we go to Fallas, which is this monument. Then we burned after a few days. Okay, but it's a beautiful festival. I don't know if you ever been, but it's
No, I've heard about it.
right.
Is it as loud as in Valencia? I mean,
Yeah,
I think yeah, so it's like there's lots of firecrackers, lots of celebrations for days, right?
absolutely. Your day,
Yeah.
it's for a week. I just spend all week. There is always something. Every day is things going on, and it's a lot of music in the streets. I think that for me is beautiful. And all these parades and all these people walking around with these beautiful dresses and everything. So that's a big event, right? A big festival. Well, actually, people saying in Spain that we are the city with the most festivals in the whole Spain.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, okay. That's saying something.
If you Google that, you will find that.
Okay.
It's you. So okay, we have we like festivals, and then we have another one. When is the next one? Then we have Easter time. That we don't do a lot in Easter in this area. We do in other areas of Spain, but still we don't always do something. So we take all these things from the church and walk around and things like that. But it's not a big one for us. And then we have in summer Bows a la Mar,
Okay. What's
bulls to
that?
the sea. So it's like like in Pamplona, the bulls running the street.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, they do actually here in the main street, and the people run in front, and then they get to a bullfight ring, but it's not a ring; it's half ring because the other half is the sea,
Oh, wow. Okay.
right? So it's only half, and the other half is right the sea. Okay, so the people and the bulls are running around this area, and sometimes the people fall in the sea, and sometimes the bulls fall in the sea.
Oh my gosh.
I know I shouldn't I shouldn't be telling you. They're going to think that we oh we're terrible. But no, but it's quite fun, and we respecting right because we never killed the bull or anything. It's just for
Okay.
for fun.
Okay.
Okay, and then
Getting chased by a bull just for fun.
just and they're not big ones, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but they're not big ones, but they're quite they run fast. Put it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a bunch of young men with vibrato
Yeah,
showing off that they can run faster than the bull, right? Yeah.
that's right. It's a lot of things going on 1 week as well.
Okay.
And the last day is another big parade. Okay, with the people from the fires, because the fires we have, I think it's 12 fires, so it's 12 groups of people
Mm-hmm.
with they have the monument and everything else. Each group have like I don't know 300 people, like members and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for this parade in July, all each one will do carrozas. How you call carrozas? Well, it's
Like a
another
float.
monument. It's like another monument, and they do a big parade with different motifs. Like sometimes there's like Indians. Sorry, I can't really explain this very well, so forget it. I will explain some other time.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have August, and we have another big festival, which is Moros and Christians.
Oh yeah. The Moors and Christians. Okay. So I've been to something similar to that in Murcia, and I want to say they do that in the spring there.
Yeah, the
Okay.
different times in different places, but here
Mm-hmm.
is in August, which
Okay.
is the hottest time of the year, and they are wearing these big things, and it's really hot, but it's really tough to watch, and it's
Mm-hmm.
so many people around, and it lasts like 4 hours of parade, so it's quite a long time. But I love watching it. It's getting bigger and bigger every year because a lot of people is joining this in these festivals as well. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a lot going on. But apart from that, retired people, for example, like last week, no, Sunday, I went to Javier. No, I went to Altea to the theater, and a lot of people, a lot of foreigners also organize buses to go to Altea, which is only 30, 40 minutes away, or
Mm-hmm.
to Teulada Auditorio. So we have these two theaters close to Denia as well, and they do organize a lot of buses to go and watch, not only to these places, also to Alicante and Valencia. So
Okay.
retired people have a lot of social life.
Yeah. They definitely do.
Yeah, they organize so many things. It's amazing. Obviously, they have the time and they
Yeah.
and they like social life, so they don't get bored. I mean, I've got some friends retired from Alemania as well, and every time I call them, they're always in something.
Yeah. They're always busy. Yeah.
Yes,
Some people say they're
always busy.
busier in retirement, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, they don't get bored. There is a lot of things going on because of
Yeah.
the weather as well.
Yeah. You can
Having
go
this
out and do things.
this wonderful weather and the places, the greenness, the I don't know, all the walks you can do around. These days, everybody likes to go and walk and do hiking harder or slow, but everybody likes to do something. So retired people do it as well. So you find
Definitely.
when you go on a Sunday on Saturday, because I can't do it from Monday to Friday, obviously, but if I go
Yeah.
on a Saturday and a Sunday, I always find a lot of people, walking around, and yeah, I think they're quite happy. I mean, nobody wants to leave.
Yeah. It's a special place for sure. So to wrap up, if someone is deciding between Denia and other, popular destinations where, international people choose to land,
Mhm.
what should be their deciding factor? I mean, what
For me,
puts Denia
for me,
on the top of the list?
vacation.
The location.
Vacation and services. To me, that's the main. I mean, nobody else have ferries to go to the islands. Nobody else. Okay, you have to go either to Valencia or to Alicante. So we cover what nobody else cover, and we are right in the middle between the two uh, airport. That means that you can fly from one and come back from the other one. are meeting again in the same place. So for me, that's the big highlight of this place. Apart from that, is the city of the whole area. It's the city is big enough to have a lovely life in winter, with some places get quiet. And Denia is always there's always life in it. There's always things going on. So that for me, yeah, definitely, I will choose Denia.
What a great place for us to end. Marta, thank you so much. And for anybody who's watching, if you are interested in exploring real estate or life on the Costa Blanca North, I'll put a link below. You can fill out that form and I'll connect you with Marta and she can help you find your place in Denia. Marta, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope this conversation gave you real clarity, not just about this area in Spain, but about how to think through which area is going to be the best for you. If you like this content, please like and share it with someone who is also exploring a life abroad. And if you're not quite sure exactly where you want to land, that's actually where I do my best work. I love helping people work through and build clarity around their lifestyle and goals and budget and which areas are going to be the best fit for them. If you're in the early stages of exploration, a 1-hour move abroad consultation is a great place for us to start. And if you're ready to really take action, then joining a scouting trip is a fantastic and smart next step. I'll be leading some new tours in April and May of this year, and then we'll have new ones booked in the fall as well. So you can check the link in the description to get more information there or reach out to me if you have questions. Until next time, keep traveling, keep exploring, and keep living the life you dream about.